Hi, kids. It's February 5th. It's day 17. Oh, man. How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are still alive. Or, if you prefer, not, as the case may be, sometimes maybe it's more peaceful to not be experiencing this. Sorry, I should not make jokes like that, but I have a dark sense of humor, and I say a lot of shit that, probably I shouldn't say, but here we are. This is unreal. But Josh Hawley has introduced a bill to the Senate to ban the download of DeepSeek, the Chinese AI app that has far outpaced, what is it called again? OpenAI? Yeah, OpenAI. I don't know if you guys remember that from, it feels like several years ago. It was like a week ago. Dropped NVIDIA stocks, which we all know that that's probably what this is actually about, because capitalism claims to love competition, but capitalism sure does fucking freak out when there is competition. In any case, they want to ban the download of DeepSeek in the United States, and they want to punish it with, drum roll please, 20 years in prison and a $100 million fine. That seems a little extreme. It doesn't sound like the bill is going to get through, but they're going to keep pushing and tweaking. And speaking of tweaking, I'm guessing it's because they're fucking drug dealers, NVIDIA, have asked them to. I think a lot of these people very clearly have backdoor deals with companies, and they're just literally writing legislation for these fucking companies. But anyways, I don't think that's news. I think everybody knew that. So that's one unbelievable thing that is happening. Sadly, and I think we all saw this coming, Trump has signed an executive order banning trans athletes from women's sports. All these executive orders, like a lot of them are unconstitutional. I don't know how they get enforced, really. And I don't know, I don't know how much of this is going to actually stick. There's already obviously a lot of pushback in the courts against many of these executive orders. And then we also see, in particular, companies that are just complying with no pushback. So I really feel like we never know what's going to make it through and what's not. But that is something that is happening. There have been protests, by the way, all day today, all across the United States and all the capital cities. Thousands and thousands of people are showing up. I've seen tons of videos. I've seen a lot of articles. That's going to keep happening, I'm sure, especially as things escalate. If some of their more extreme measures find some way to affect people, for instance, anything to do with anyone's money, obviously. And some of the things that are happening with the mass deportations they're just horrifying. So I think that we'll continue to see protests. However, I know that they're trying to rush through a bunch of laws that increase the punishments and penalties for protests as well. So it's getting a lot more dangerous, which we knew. We knew that was going to happen the second he was in office. A Justice Department official named Emile Bove, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, it's Bove. He is accusing Trump's new FBI implants of insubordination, and he's saying that they're not going to allow these revenge firings in the FBI to go through. Because I'm sure you're all aware that Trump and his cronies are planning to basically not only fire people who participated in the January 6th investigations, but also then take out exact punishment against them, essentially. And it sounds like, there's people that are going to push back. Again, this is all going to be a game of how far can he take this with how much pushback? And there's going to be some weak spots in our system that are probably going to just let him through. And there may be some that actually hold, and we're going to find out, day to day what those are. The hardest part, again, is that a lot of the stuff when it comes to like legal filings is very slow. The ACLU has Lord knows how many lawsuits out against Trump right now. But some of those lawsuits can take decades, man. It doesn't happen quickly. I have a really great headline that I love very much to tell you about. A black church in DC that was vandalized by the Proud Boys. They were awarded the Proud Boys trademark because the Proud Boys defaulted on a $2.8 million judgment against them. Basically, they destroyed that church, and they were ordered to pay $2.8 million for the repair, and they didn't do it. So now the black church gets to intercept any money that's made. It's illegal for the Proud Boys to sell any merch, and the church can actually go after any profits that are made in connection to their trademark, their like logo, essentially. So I absolutely love that, and we need more stories like that just to keep us going, I think. This next one is not quite as good, unfortunately. West Point Military Academy has shut down all of its clubs related to women and minorities in response to Trump's DEI policies. Again, we're going to see a lot of these organizations simply comply. They don't want the smoke. They don't want to have to pay any fines. They don't want Trump coming after them. And that's why we see big corporations like Target doing the same kind of shit. And honestly, you're going to see individuals doing that shit too. Supposedly, not that I give a fuck about this, and I do not, but Travis Kelce said he was like honored to have Trump come to the Super Bowl this Sunday. That's Taylor Swift's boyfriend, I guess. Actually, when I saw the headline, I forgot who he was. and then I was like, oh, because it never would have occurred to me that dude who is dating someone who's literally in like a feud with Donald Trump would say something supportive about Donald Trump. I find that not particularly surprising based on all of my relationship experience. I think I might have almost said relationship. And that's fine because that's more accurate. I don't think that my jaded perspective on those things is always the way to go, but let's put it this way. Disappointed, not surprised, Travis. I've heard a lot of people since then now talking about it. Again, I don't give a shit. I really don't. And I'm sure Taylor's a grown-ass bitch, and she's going to handle it however she sees fit, I'm sure. But, to be honest with you, it is understandable that a lot of people, celebrities, companies, etc., are going to refuse to stick their necks out. Are they little bitches for that? Yeah. Yes. They're cowards. They're gross. They're immoral. Again, am I surprised? No. People are terrified. People are scared of him, and they're scared of what he can and can't do. And the reality is we actually haven't figured out what he can and can't do. And what he can and can't do is also likely to change over the course of the next 4 years. It could turn on a dime. It could go from 1 week to then he somehow slips some law through that's like, everybody who's ever talked shit about me, we're shipping you out to El Salvador. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I know in the back of my mind that is a real possibility. I don't know. Maybe I have a death wish, Like, I don't know, man. I hope not, because I have a lot of shit to do and I have a kid. But I think the point is, everyone who steps out of line, I think, is aware that there's potential consequences, and there's going to be a lot of people and a lot of businesses that are not going to be willing to do that. And so they're going to just be racist now. They're just going to be racist, and they're going to be sexist, and they're not going to give a fuck what happens to women or minorities. I mean, yeah, this is America's day of reckoning. I think we've had several maybe this is number, I don't know what. This is the most recent day of reckoning, and, everything's going to change from this point moving forward, no matter what happens. ICE. Okay, so ICE has been arresting thousands of people. You know what? I'm going to try to move my tiny little head up higher so you can see me better. Sorry about that. So ICE has been arresting thousands of people that have no criminal record. And we knew that was going to happen. I know a lot of people were in a very extreme amount of denial and saying that, but Trump promised he's only going to arrest the criminals, and everyone else is like, no. No, I'm sorry. If you are not blonde with blue eyes, you're probably getting thrown in the back of a van. No one is safe. And now that turns out to be the case. However, the good news is this administration is sloppy as fuck, and they don't have anywhere to put these people yet. They're working on it. They've got the prison going in El Salvador. They don't have the money. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to fly these people anywhere. And then sometimes they're flying them places and they're getting diverted back and shit. Like, they're not organized right now. They will get organized. They will. In the meantime, they've had to release 8,000 migrants back into the country because they had nowhere to fucking put them. They have nowhere to house them. So I'm sure that they're going to bend over backwards trying to figure that out. They'll probably create more space in for-profit prisons here. Sounds like they're going to be making some really fucked up, shady deals with other countries. And, the clock is ticking. If I were someone with literally anywhere to go, I would go there. If you're in danger, honestly, again, I should probably be giving myself the same fucking advice. I don't know. I think if people can leave, it's not a bad idea. You have more to lose in staying here than you do in leaving, potentially, depending on you and your situation and your level of threat. So you just have to be honest with yourself about what that is. If I was here, I'm seeing warnings from people that claim to have insider information saying, if you have any kind of criminal record, like literally even a jaywalking, get the fuck out. If you are here illegally, get out. But if you are even here legally as an immigrant with any marks on your record, and maybe even if not, it's just a very iffy situation. And I think the other thing that we have to address is that the level of racism and vitriol in the country, like on the one hand, there's going to be really extreme solidarity. And on the other hand, there's going to be probably violence and scary. The people who are backing this up in terms of like citizens are scary people. And they're angry and they want revenge and they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. Like them wanting revenge against immigrants is insane. And we keep telling them that, but they don't understand. We can't make them understand. And so anyways, I think my point is, again, if you're not a white man, you're really not safe here. And that's why I don't leave my house. I really don't, actually. A Maryland judge, though, blocked Trump's birthright citizenship order. So again, there are people within our legal system fighting back against this stuff. But it takes a long time. And it's back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I just don't, it's like a rickety bridge or something. Like, I just don't trust it. I don't know how long it's going to hold. I pray it holds all the way through. Only time will tell. I didn't address this yesterday, and someone in the comments was like, you forgot this, and it's huge, that Trump is preparing an executive order to eliminate the Department of Education, which he can't actually legally do without Congress. He can't do most of this, but I think when he makes these announcements, people are like shaking in their boots and quivering, and a lot of people have gotten like fired or furloughed or whatever Again, time will tell, but it's no secret that he wants America dumb as a box of rocks. And listen, we're close. We're already very close to being dumb. He did say that it frustrates him that we are we're not performing well in terms of education. So I guess instead of making any positive changes to our education system, he's just going to can it and see how he can personally make some money off of that. Him and his idiot troll loser best friends. So that's that. And again, will it go through? I have no idea. We're just going to have to wake up every day and see what he took a piss on next. See what happens after that. The last thing I wanted to address is that BBC's top headline right now is that Trump's plan for Gaza isn't going to happen. And I like the optimism. I think that's great. I think they're probably right. Their reasoning for that was that the nations that he has told to take the Palestinians and relocate them have said no. Because he already said, like, we're not paying for this. And he said, we want to send the Palestinians to Jordan, Egypt, Iran, etc. I think it's close to 2 million people that need to be relocated. And all those places have said no, I mean, for a million reasons. Not just that, like, they don't want a million immigrants, but also that it's not fucking ethical to just tell people they have to leave their homeland. And that's not a real solution. It's unfortunate that we don't have an administration that believes in a two-state solution and instead wants to privatize the Gaza Strip and turn it into a fucking disgusting, ugly hotel. But this is the situation that America is in. Other countries are going to think he's an idiot. And again, what are him and Netanyahu willing to do? You know, people try to apply logic and reason to these dudes. Take that out of there. That doesn't belong there. There is no logic and reason for these people. There's money, there's power, and there's violent authority. They don't operate like normal human beings. They don't give a fuck about what they promised or what they told you. If it's no longer convenient to them, or if it's going to cost them money, or if they just don't want to, they're going to do what they want to do. And will he try everything he can if he's made some sort of backdoor deal, which again, I'm sure he has. I mean, Netanyahu looked very pleased with what Trump was saying. So I'm sure that they have some sort of pact going on behind the scenes. And frankly, what do I think that pact is? I don't think Netanyahu has any intention to stop bombing. I don't think he's going to do it. No one is stopping him. No one has stopped him so far. They keep saying, the International Criminal Court keeps saying they're going to do something. No one's doing anything. Who's going to actually stop him? I can tell you right now, the United States of America is absolutely not going to stop him. Trump is going to let him do what he wants. So it's going to have to be a different country this time if we want any kind of justice to prevail, and someone else is going to have to step in to protect the Palestinians. Trump is not going to do it. You know, I read the article in, what was it? NPR had an article about the Arabic community in Michigan, near me in Dearborn, what their response was to Trump's statements yesterday about relocating the Gazan citizens and basically taking that property for himself. And they, a lot of them are biting their tongues. They're scared. They're scared. And one other really important thing that someone brought up today is that land has an incredible amount of oil on it. I think that's the whole mystery, you guys. I don't think it's a mystery. I think that those two fucks want that oil, and they don't give a shit who they have to kill. They don't care who they piss off. They're gonna try to take it Neanderthal style. So again, I think that civilized society, it's almost like when the redcoats lost because they didn't understand that people had no fucking problem hiding in the woods and ambushing them. The way that they did war was everyone stood in the middle of a field with a red fucking coat on like an idiot and waited to get shot. I think a lot of people are experiencing that same phenomena right now. You think that these people are playing by rules that they are not playing by. They do not care about human life. They don't care about loss of human life, and they don't care about their reputation. They care about money. They care about power. They care about resources, period. I don't know. I think time is going to prove that. And, you know, if any of those people happen to disappear from the scene for any reason, unfortunately, I think there's a line of psychopaths behind them to step right in. So not to say that, again, you know, I'll leave you with this tonight. Here's a little bit of far out there potential hope. Some of the psychics that I really respect, that I just think are interesting, keep saying that climate change is actually the thing that turns the ship around and essentially eliminates conflicts that pop up this year because it becomes so bad that we have to refocus our energies. So I don't know, is that good news or is that really bad news? Depends on how you look at it. You know, though, pain is the best teacher. And if it can get us to turn our heads to something more important, like our imminent doom, and if it can also really get some of the people that were climate change deniers, or maybe they're just thinking, this isn't going to be my problem, if it can get those people to fucking focus and realize that, yes, this is your problem, maybe things really could turn around. So I don't know. Sorry, I yapped for a really long time tonight, but I love you guys. Thanks for being here. I'll see you tomorrow.